Hello guys, welcome back to FC Sean Predicts. Today is the day that we're going to do our predictions for Premier League match week 31. And before we do that, as always, let's just go back to Premier League week 30 and see how good or bad we did. So as you can see, the first match, Arsenal were hosting Fulham. Our prediction was both teams to score with the odds of 2.15 and the actual result was 2-1. So we hit our tip for that one. The following match, Bournemouth were hosting Ipswich. Our prediction was both teams to score with the odds of 1.80 and the actual result was 1-2. That was a surprise win from Ipswich. The following match, Brighton were hosting Aston Villa. Our tip was Aston Villa double chance with the odds of 1.75. And the second tip we had was Aston Villa double chance combined was over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals with the odds of 2.15. And the actual result was 0-3 for Aston Villa, so we hit both of the tips. And the following match, Newcastle were hosting Brentford. Our tip was Newcastle to win combined was over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals, with the odds of 1.85, so we hit that tip as well. The following match, Manchester City hosting Leicester. Our tip was both teams to score no, meaning one of the teams wouldn't score. And I was sure that Leicester wouldn't be able to score in that game. So we hit that tip with 1.77 odds. The actual result was 2-0. The following two matches, we predicted the correct winners. Nottingham were hosting Manchester United. So we predicted that Nottingham are going to win with the odds of 2.30. And Liverpool against Everton. So that one also, we predicted the correct winner, Liverpool to win. And the actual result was 1-0 for Liverpool. And by the time of this recording, Chelsea, Tottenham haven't started yet, so I'm not sure how that tip is gonna go, but you never know when these two teams play. And the other two that we missed would be Wolves, West Ham. Our tip was both teams to score, but the game ended 1-0 for Wolves. And the last one, Southampton, Crystal Palace. Our tip was Palace to win combined was over 1.5 goals. We hit the over 1.5 part, but Palace couldn't win that game surprisingly, and they only got a point out of that game. So yeah, we had 7 out of 9 Chelsea and Tottenham had to play, so I don't know how that's gonna go. And yeah, I think we did a pretty good job again. So yeah, that was our Premier League Week 30 predictions. And now without further ado, let's get to the next one, Week 31. Let's go. First match of the week, Everton will be hosting Arsenal, 15s against the second. Very interesting one. Arsenal were able to defeat Fulham 2-1 at home, where Mikel Merino and Saka were able to score the 2 goals. But the bad news for Arsenal was that Gabriel got injured right before their clash against Real Madrid in the Champions League, which is not good at all. Like Mikel Arteta didn't have enough injuries. And Everton from the other side visited Anfield and they were even able to score the first goal in the first half, but unfortunately that was ruled out due to offside. And in the second half, Jota scored a goal and that game ended 1-0 and Liverpool snatched the win. And that was Everton's first loss out of their last 10 EPL outings. So back to this game, in reverse fixture between these two teams, the game ended 0-0 draw. One of the important things to keep an eye on would be to see Mikel Arteta's lineup against Everton, because he could rest some of the players before their big game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. But my score prediction for this match is 1-1 draw, and my tip is both teams to score at 2.20. On to the next one, Crystal Palace will be hosting Brighton, 12th against the 8th. Crystal Palace really surprised us by almost losing against Southampton but scoring in the last added minutes and equalizing the game. And I was thinking maybe that was because of their FA Cup match against Fulham 3 days prior to this game. When it comes to Brighton, they lost at American Stadium in their last outing against Aston Villa, whereas Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio scored goals. In reverse fixture, Crystal Palace were able to get the win 3-1. But the last time Brighton visited Palace, the teams decided to settle for a point and the game ended with a draw. I have to remind that Crystal Palace are unbeaten in 7 games with 6 wins and 1 draw. This is a tough one to predict, but I feel like that the teams are gonna settle down for a point again. My score prediction for this match is 1-1 draw. And my tip is Crystal Palace double chance combined with both teams to score adds 1.95. On to the next one, Ipswich Town against Wolves, 18s against the 17th. Wolves were able to defeat West Ham at home 1-0, and Ipswich Town really surprised most of us by beating Bournemouth in an away match 2-1. And this would be the perfect opportunity for Ipswich to shorten their distance from Wolves, which is 9 points as things stand now. So yeah, this should be a good battle, especially for Ipswich to have some hopes to stay in the top league. But from the other side, Wolves would try to do everything not to let Ipswich come up closer. But the interesting part is, in reverse fixture back in December, Ipswich actually were able to defeat Wolves 2-1 in that away match. So I'm going to put my trust in Ipswich this time, even though I'm not going to be surprised if Wolves are going to win in this one. My score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Ipswich Town, and my tip is both teams to score at 1.80. On to the next one, West Ham will be hosting Bournemouth, 16s against the 10th. West Ham lost to Wolves in that away match 1-0, and Bournemouth surprised a lot of us by losing at home against Ipswich 1-2. Well done, Ipswich Town. In reverse fixture, the game ended 1-1 draw, but the last time Bournemouth visited West Ham, that game ended 1-0 for the home team, West Ham. Both teams are not in a good form, but this would be a good place to bounce back. And thinking about it, I think the away team will get it done. My score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Bournemouth, and my tip is both teams to score combined was under 3.5 goals, meaning 3 or less goals in the game, odds 1.95. On to the next one, Aston Villa will be hosting Nottingham Forest, 7th against the 3rd, one of the games that I'll be looking forward to. Both teams have 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss in their last 5 EPL outings. But Aston Villa must win this game to have a good chance for the next year's European competitions. Both teams are coming with good spirits to this game. Aston Villa were able to crush Brighton 3-0 in that away match, whereas Nottingham Forest defeated Manchester United at home 1-0. And of course, the only goal had to be scored by Manchester United's former player, Anthony Elanga. In reverse fixture, Nottingham Forest were able to defeat Aston Villa 2-1, but the last season when Forest visited Aston Villa, that game ended 4-2 for the home team Aston Villa. A quick reminder, Unai Emery's side has a super important game in the Champions League against PSG, so they may want to win this game and travel to Paris with more confidence with their heads up. But you never know, Unai Emery may also rest some of the players in this match. But my score prediction for this game is 1-2 for Nottingham Forest, and my tip is Forest double chance, odds 1.90. On to the next one, Brentford will be hosting Chelsea. Brentford lost in their last outing against Newcastle 2-1, and Chelsea are fighting really hard to stay in these European competition spots. They were doing an amazing job in the first half of the season. I don't know what happened in the second half of the season, but they started dropping points. In reverse fixture at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea were able to defeat the guests 2-1, whereas Nicholas Jackson and Cucurella were able to score. But the previous season when the Blues visited Brentford, that game ended 2-2 draw. And the super interesting fun fact in this one is Brentford haven't won a single match in their last 5 home games, and the same stats apply to Chelsea. In their last 5 away games, they weren't able to get a single win. I'm sorry Chelsea fans, but I'm gonna back the home team in this one. My score prediction for this game is 1-0 for Brentford, and my tip is Brentford double chance combined was under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, odds 1.85. On to the next one, Fulham will be hosting Liverpool, 9th against the 1st. Fulham have visited that Emirates Stadium and lost the game 2-1, whereas Liverpool were finally able to beat Everton 1-0 out of their last 3 tries. Fulham are fighting hard for those European competition spots, despite winning only 2 out of their last 5 EPL games. In reverse fixture, the game ended 2-2 draw. We do remember Andrew Robertson getting a red card in the first half, beginning of the first half actually, and Liverpool had to score 2 equalizers and catch up with Fulham, and goal scorers in that game was Cody Gakpo and Diogo Jota. Can Fulham pull an upset in this one? We have to wait and see. My score prediction for this match is 1-3 for Liverpool, and my tip is both teams to score combined was under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, at 2.15. On to the next one, Tottenham will be hosting Southampton. I don't think there's too much to talk here. In the reverse fixture, Spurs were able to beat Southampton 5-0. But I don't think Spurs would drop points at home, despite Southampton surprising us in their last outing against Crystal Palace, drawing that game 1-1. My score prediction for this match is 2-0 for Spurs, and my tip is Spurs to win, combined with under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, odds 1.75. On to the next one. It's that time of the season where we get this Manchester derby again. No matter in what kind of form these teams are, when they face each other, we can expect some fireworks. Like in that reverse fixture back in December, where Manchester United made a comeback and won the game 2-1 in that away match. City were able to score first. I remember it was Guardiola who scored the first goal in the first half, and that's how the first half ended. And in the second half, Manchester United made a comeback. In the 88th minute of the second half, Bruno Fernandes scored the goal and equalized. And in the last dying minutes, Amad Diallo scored the winner and snatched the win. But the last time Manchester City visited Old Trafford, that game ended 3-0 for the guests, City. But this time around, my score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Manchester United. And my tip is Manchester United double chance combined with both teams to score at 2.23. On to the next one. Leicester will be hosting Newcastle. There isn't too much to talk in this game as well. In the reverse fixture, the Magpies were able to defeat Leicester 4-0, and I think they will get their 3 points in this game as well. My score prediction for this match is 0-2 for Newcastle, and my tip is Newcastle to win combined with under 4.5 goals, odds 1.75. That's all, guys. That was our Premier League Week 31 predictions. Leave your comments and predictions in the comment section. Put thumbs up if you liked the video. Also subscribe so you're not gonna miss our next releases. And bye for now.